Mindfulness for Resilience with Mary Jo Federle, funded by the Craig H. Nielsen Foundation and brought to you by SCI&U for Healthy Living.
I just want to thank everybody for joining us today for Mary Jo's mindfulness session. My name is Teri Thorson, and I'm one of the health coaches with the SCI&U self-management research study that you may have heard about. I'm sure Sonia can type in the chat box more info about that at some point. First, I just want to thank the sponsor of these sessions, which is the Craig H. Nielsen Foundation. So we're very grateful for their funding to be able to put these on. Personally, I've known Mary Jo for many years now and have bared witness to her many accomplishments. She's a yoga pioneer, teacher, coach, mother, and guru to many people living with a disability, as well as without. Now we are blessed to have her share her expertise on mindfulness throughout the world through these sessions. So without further ado, I think I'll leave it to Mary Jo to get us started.
Awesome. Thanks, Teri. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mindfulness for Resilience during Troubled Times. And that was a title we chose at the very beginning of the COVID pandemic. And I think it's really fitting because mindfulness does build resilience in the brain and in the body. And for me anyways, I can really attest to that. I've been dealing with some health problems over the last couple of years that are kind of unusual. And I know for sure that if I didn't have mindfulness and breathing practices, I would probably not be as healthy as I am, having been on this chronic dose of antibiotics for so long. And so I really encourage you to look at mindfulness as a tool for your health and for your health and well-being, and particularly not just your mental health, but your body as well. Part of what we do in mindfulness is we allow the nervous system to just take a break and also take stock, so kind of go inward. And in that movement inward, we pause and we let that pause do sort of what any good pause in nature or even on a computer, if you cold boot it, would do. And it just resets and allows you to just chill things that might be kind of going a little bit on their own tangent, and also to take stock of where you are. So perhaps with an intervention like a deep breath or conscious relaxing, you could ameliorate tension buildup or various other things that particularly right now I think we're pretty susceptible to. I know I am. I was thinking about it the other day, and as I go inward and I just take the moment, or 5 or 8 minutes every, a few times a day, to just pause before I send off an email or before I have to deal with a procedure or something. It really helps me to ground, to stabilize, and then to also just take a moment to really tune into what I need. So I encourage you to think about it that way. And beginning mindfulness, we think about pausing to take ourselves into a present state of awareness, so we can be thinking about all sorts of things and worried and having to solve problems. And in this few minutes of your day, that's not going to happen. You're going to actually be carefree. I'm going to invite you to think about mindfulness as a state of just being in a real carefree place where you don't have to solve anything. So that's for sure. And I encourage you to really allow yourself to be okay with that, because a lot of us think we have to be doing all the time. And as we go into it, we kind of allow our body to do some conscious relaxing. And that's often with the advantage of the breath, because as we deep breathe, we can just allow the nervous system to do a bit of a shift. So today we're going to be using that one. And the next thing, my dog's just kind of lying on the ground, having a really good back roll right now. She loves mindfulness. You can hear her growling and just moaning. Anyways, the next thing we're going to do is adopt an attitude of friendliness. And this is something that we don't want to think about being good or bad at, or I did it right or I did it wrong. Really, there's no right or wrong. There's just the experience. So allow yourself to kind of release the perfectionist sort of kind of cultural ideology that we have about what we always have to be doing right, and don't worry about it. Whatever you're doing is actually really good. So trust that. So we're going to be working with the breath today, and I'm going to allow you to get into your position, and we're going to go right into our mindfulness practice without further ado. So get yourself in a place where you're really comfortable. Allow yourself to sit in a really stable and solid position wherever you are. Take a moment to bring your hands onto your lap and perhaps just shrug your shoulders up. Bring your upper arm bones back and let your arms and your shoulder blades slide down and release down the back. And then close your eyes. Our breath is the most universal thing, and it's fundamental to life. So as you breathe in now, just allow yourself to deepen your breath slightly. And as you deepen your breath, be conscious that you can breathe into the lungs, and you can also breathe into your heart and fill into your heart. You could be mindful that your breathing can calm and steady you by just allowing yourself to smooth out your breath. So put your hands now on your belly and continue to take a few more deep breaths. Notice the movement of your breath. Notice the movement of breath beneath your hands at your belly. And as you notice the movement, perhaps you feel expansion on the inhale and contraction on the exhale. And just go with that. Allow yourself to notice that. Notice all of the other things that might be occurring too. The feeling of the exhale, perhaps deepening you into your supports. And as you breathe, the breathing, the universal breath, you could allow yourself to, as you feel the expansion and the contraction, to just notice too at the back of the throat, the movement of the breath. Can you feel that? Can you feel the swirling at the back of your throat as the breath moves in and as the breath moves out? And with that expansion and contraction, do you notice a deepening? And can you allow yourself to give over to gravity and surrender to your exhale, releasing you deeper into your contact? Continuing to notice your breath and the movement, the rhythm. I'm going to encourage you to allow yourself to just add the word vital on the inhale, ease on the exhale. So just quietly to yourself as you inhale, thinking of vitality, the breath of life. And as you exhale, think of ease. And your breath has moved to a normal rhythm now. And if not so, allow it to do so. So that you're not consciously expanding the breath to be bigger, but it's assumed its normal rhythm. And in its normal rhythm, you may notice a quietening has happened. You may notice it's smooth. and it's more steady. And you may notice you even feel a little bit calmer, more grounded. And as you continue to notice your breath, perhaps you can notice where you can breathe into your body and where you feel your breath going. So without the focus on the navel, breathe and notice where your breath goes. Where does it fill you up? And as you exhale, what happens when it empties? Can you deepen and surrender to gravity on that exhale? Perhaps you want to breathe into a tight area like the shoulders. And as you breathe in, you take vital life force there. And as you exhale, you consciously, from the inside out, relax your shoulders down the back. Soften. And as you continue to quieten your whole being with this beautiful, smooth, rhythmic breath, allow yourself to, with that ease of the exhale, imagine the whole environment around you as being nurturing, the support beneath you, supportive, so that you're fully supported and nurtured right now, in this moment. And your mind may wander, and that's okay. You can bring it back to the breath and to those two words, breathing in vitality and breathing out ease. Softening the space at the outer corners of your eyes as you breathe. Relaxing the face muscles. Remembering that notion of carefreeness and not allowing any care to disrupt you in this moment, other than just the simple attention that you honor and offer yourself right now. And so in some ways, you could say that you are caring for yourself. And feel into that caring, that time that you're just offering right now in this moment to replenish your whole being. Noticing perhaps any sensation, any state of mind with a kind observation and a neutral place of acceptance, and then just moving on and back to the breath. In this last few moments, allowing yourself to appreciate with gratitude the breath, this one common thread between all humanity that links us to each other, but also helps us to connect to ourselves in a much deeper and more complete way. Perhaps you may notice that as you breathe and as you breathe consciously, you feel the connection between your body, your mind, and your breath. And slowly coming back into the room. Some of you may like to rub your hands together and just place them on your eyes. And then release them out and perhaps a shake. And then we're back into the world together, connected here. I like to think of the breath as a real connection. And for me anyways, it's I really love the fact that we're connecting and that this is part of how we're connecting together. And we're consciously breathing together, which is quite powerful. We see this in choirs and with athletes, all of them think about the breath, and the breath is a real fundamental piece. And when we breathe and we're conscious together, just like we just did, we create a real beautiful collective intention, so to speak, of mindfulness, of being conscious and honoring really the breath, ourselves, and life. So thanks for joining us. I'll just say, I know for me right now, especially during these times of uncertainty, and there's so many moving targets that, if you can bring one anchor into your life, such as mindfulness, that's not a moving target, that is something that where you're in a really resourceful and safe place, and you can go there. It doesn't take much. It's really simple, and it's all yours. You don't have to rely on an external source for it. I think those are the things that are really important right now that we should be doing collectively as individuals. I don't like shoulds, but that we could be doing. And also walking in nature, because nature has a beautiful mindful sort of default, where when we go into nature, it's hard not to be present and to be in the moment. And it's hard not to be kind of feeling like the whole environment around us is nurturing us. And that's really, what mindfulness is too. So those two things I just like to add.
I'm a lot like Teri. I know Teri quite well. Just always busy doing something, and my mind's always somewhere. But I am finding this, it's really hard for me to do this, but I'm finding it so helpful, especially when I'm having trouble sleeping at night, to do some of the deep breathing exercises you mentioned. And just because I'm not very good at it, it's going to take a long time. I did do what you said, just going into nature without any music, any earbuds, just listen to the birds chirping, enjoy the free gifts that we have in life to enjoy, like the colors, the birds chirping. It helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long, for some of us, people like me, it feels like it's taking forever to make progress.
Yeah.
But it's very helpful.
You know what? You're doing great. Don't worry. It takes all of us a long time to make progress, because our habitual way is to be out in the world and be busy. So be patient. And if you took your earbuds out and you're out in nature and you're feeling that, you're on the right track, lady. Don't worry. And just keep coming back to, and do as many as you can. And like you said, practicing that breathing before you go to sleep. It's simple. And I congratulate you on just seeing the, the places where it's effective and how you can bring it into your life. And don't worry that, initially it feels awkward. I've said before, it's like learning a new language, and it just takes a bit of time for it to be something that's more natural.
So Mary Jo, Blake also has a question.
Okay.
Oh, hi, and thanks very much, Mary Jo. I wanted to just comment that this last period of time, I've really been plagued with an increase in leg spasms, and I'm just amazed every time I do qigong or plug into mindfulness. So much of an improvement with the spasms. It's beyond anything the drugs can do, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're so welcome, Blake. Thanks for your comments.
I have a question for you, Mary Jo.
Sure.
When you're having a day, I'm having this day today where I'm having a lot of issues with like low blood pressure. So I feel like I'm focusing on breathing a lot anyways, because I feel like I can't get oxygen.
Yeah.
And then we're practicing mindfulness, and I'm trying to regulate breath, but still feeling really lightheaded doing it. What would you suggest?
So I would say two things. So for the blood pressure, there's a number of reasons, obviously, with the spinal cord injury, why that would be occurring. Make sure before you practice, you have a lot of liquid, like drink a lot of water, ideally, before you practice, and just making sure you're hydrated. And then I would not focus too much on the breathing if you're already feeling a little bit lightheaded. Initially, I would focus, I would do it this way. I would just focus on breathing at the heart. So just on expanding the heart and allowing your breath to be smooth, and try not to do too much control of the breath, but rather noticing of the breath and encouraging the heart to expand is my take on what you would do right now. And then see how that works. Certainly you don't want to pass out.
I know when I first started this, I couldn't sit and do mindfulness. I tried to work it into my day because even 5 minutes seemed like such a long time for me. So I worked it in, like when I was brushing my teeth, I just really focused on that moment of brushing my teeth. Or when I was having my coffee in the morning, I just focused on enjoying that cup of coffee. And then there were a few things that I noticed. My body, I was never comfortable with my feeling in my body because I have no sensation of being able to sit in my wheelchair and close my eyes. That would just make me feel very uncomfortable. So Mary Jo helped me to be able to, figure out a comfortable place for me, so I wasn't in that fight or flight mode of trying to find balance. And my breathing, I noticed just the other day when we were doing this, that when I breathe in so much more air than I'm actually releasing. So counting has really helped me. And focusing when I'm listening to music, sometimes that helps me direct my mind. I can listen to one instrument or one voice within music. So all of these little things have helped me, by no means am I any expert, but have helped me guide my mind, because it's all over the place. It's going and it won't stop. So there's just a little tricks that help me personally. So hopefully.
Great suggestions, Teri. Thanks. And they're all you are an expert in your own being, because you're finding out what works for you. And I love that you're, bringing it into your daily life. That's a great example of brushing your teeth or listening to a particular instrument. So you want to think of this as really training the brain to actually have capacity to be still and focused, and that's perfect to be able to kind of walk through your day or roll through your day, taking moment to moment awareness and mindfulness into various different pieces of your day, like washing the dishes or drinking your coffee, really feeling the heat of the cup, noticing the smell of it before you taste it. Those are all beautiful mindfulness ways to really cultivate the awareness and the kind of the training around mindfulness practice. So great suggestions. Oh, and there's one more thing before we go. I just wanted to encourage you to, for sure, go to the YouTube channel, SCI&U.ca on YouTube. And also SCI&U.ca is our website for the coaching program that we offer for people across Canada. And it's even going to be in the States, or it is in the States already. But anyway, that's another story. But if you want to find out about how to become a participant, you just go to that website or to the channel, and you'll find out more there. Because Teri, myself, Delynn, Sonia, all are involved in this wonderful coaching program, and it's all across Canada, and it's really a good thing. So I hope you can join us there as well. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.